Hey, good morning, guys. Sean Bougie here. I wanted to talk to you guys today about judgment recovery. And I've done it before, been involved in it. When I first was introduced to that years and years ago, I thought, wow, this is a great opportunity to use the skills that I have, the skill set, finding people, negotiating, approaching people in such a way that I'm not going to put them off. It's just a great opportunity to make money, especially since a lot of times the creditors are ready to deal. Everything's going, you're thinking you can get somewhere with it. I quickly found out that it's extremely difficult to enforce judgments to the point where you can actually get the money. Okay? People think you're just going to be able to get this order and judgment and garnish wages and attach to assets, and people are going to want to pay you right away to get you out of there. And they don't care most of the time. Most of the time, they're just going to wait for the judgment to fall off. They're not concerned about the debt against them. They're not concerned about the bad credit. They're not concerned about any of that. They're not in the middle of buying another house, so they don't have to get rid of the judgment. They're not in the middle of anything that requires them to handle this debt. But I want you to think for a second, those of you guys out there that have done judgment recovery, and I know there's a lot of you, and I know there's a lot of you that are really staggeringly good at it. I mean, I've run across people in that business that are unbelievably good. I want you to think about if you could apply that, if you could apply your skill set to something that paid you at least 10 times more money, would you do it? Would you do it? Would you get out of judgment recovery and do something else? Right now, in over 3,000 counties across the United States, foreclosures are happening. Okay? Mortgage and tax foreclosures. Tax foreclosures would be where the county forecloses because they haven't paid their property taxes on the house. You've got mortgage foreclosures and offshoots of that. HOA foreclosures, condo association foreclosures. Lien holders can foreclose. You've got all of this going on. And what happens if it sells for more money than the debt that was against the property? Bear with me, judgment recovery guys. Just hear me out. Because a lot of people don't understand this. Let's say Bank of America's worth or is due $150,000 from this guy, and they foreclose on the property, and it sells for $200,000, and there wasn't any other debt. Can they keep the 50 grand? No. The 50 grand goes to the court in most cases. Sometimes there's special departments that hold it, but in most cases the court actually holds that money. And then the owner can actually claim that money. So I want you to think about it. If you could apply your skill set, your ability to find people, negotiate with people, get a hold of people, and instead of calling them and saying, hey, you owe money, and trying to get them to send money in and being the bad guy, let's be honest, being the bad guy. If instead of that, you could call them and go, listen, I know where there's 50 grand. I can get it out for you. I'm willing to hire the attorney to do it. They don't have money for the attorney, right? I'm willing to hire the attorney to do it. I'm willing to give you a structured buyout. And by the way, guys, we will participate with that with you. Our system will actually give them the structured buyout, okay? Can't do any better than this. Anyway, what if you, instead of calling people and saying, hey, you owe me money, right? What if instead you could say, hey, you're owed money. I know where there's a lot of money in your name. I want you to think about that. You've dealt with these people. You know that they don't have any money. You know that they're broke. You know that they've been running from creditors. What if that's the same type of people you're dealing with. They just had a foreclosure. What if you could call them and say, I know where there's money, and get it out, and you guys could make anywhere from 8% as a researcher with us, just researching this stuff and sending it in, to 35, even 45%. And the average amount of money being held, guys, it's not chump change. The minimum we go after is 15 grand. The average is around $35,000. Okay? Doing it on your own, you can make 35 to 45% of that. What are we talking about here? 10 to 14 grand, something like that. If you send it in as a researcher to us, we'll do the tough stuff. We'll find the people, put the deal together, hire the mobile notary, get the document signed, get everything done, hire the attorney, get the money out, and pay you a really 8% commission. That's fantastic on the back end when we're done, right? I want you to think about that. You guys are amazing, you judgment recovery guys. Unbelievable some of the stuff you guys do. I've heard stories of how you contact people that's unbelievable to me. Incredible tricks. Insane systems set in place to find these people, put the deal together. What if instead of calling them and saying, hey, pay up, you were calling them and saying, hey, I got money for you. Okay? And another thing, one other thing you could do this to. All across the United States, there are tax or mortgage foreclosures coming up on properties where people cannot find the people. Folks that are trying to buy that property before the foreclosure hits. That's what we do. In the deed flip and in the game changer, deed flip, we're going after property that's about to sell at a tax sale. In game changer, we're going after property that's about to sell in a foreclosure, like a HOA foreclosure, mortgage foreclosure. What if you could use your research skills, right? Go online from home to make sure that there wasn't any other debt against the property. It takes 15 minutes, guys, once you're good, per file. What if you could apply that? You don't have to find the people or anything. What if you could, well, you do if you want to do it yourself, but what if you could apply that to buy houses? Give these people money, buy houses, and double your money on the back end. What if you could do that? What if you could? You can't. Don't get me wrong, guys. I know judgment recovery, the guys that are really killing it in judgment recovery, is extremely lucrative. I get it. It's nothing compared to either overage recovery, surplus funds, excess proceeds, whatever you want to call it. It's nothing compared to that, and it's nothing compared to buying property and flipping it as is, where is, in a couple of weeks and doubling your money. Nothing compared to that. If you're a judgment recovery guy, go to our website, surplusfundsriches.com. Surplusfunds, F-U-N-D-S, riches.com. Watch that main video. On the right side of the page, put your name and email address in there. You'll get the insider's guide and overview of all of our programs. You can click on products at the top. Check out what we've got. Guys, I'm telling you, I got nothing but respect for judgment recovery guys. I just don't understand why you would use your skill sets for that, okay, and be the bad guy and go through that grind when you can be giving people money on a house that they weren't going to make any money on, or getting back money for them that the county's hiding from them that they don't even know about. You can also call me direct, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 704-791-9398. We will partner with you in this stuff, guys. You can use our money. We're national. We've been doing this for over a decade. We know what the heck we're doing. We got a full-time staff, and I'm just telling you, it's an exciting opportunity. Everybody wins, everybody makes money, and you're not the bad guy. Thanks.